You ever have those days or weeks or months where you just don't know where you're going? Well, hey, tune in and I'm going to show you how to find that direction in life. I don't know about you, but I've had times in my life where literally I didn't know where I was going. I don't know what happens to us to get us into that place. You know, there's probably all different reasons, but what do you do when you really don't have a direction in life? You know, how do you get back going again? Because even though I've made some big progresses in my life, I've still had those moments where I felt completely lost. So I want to share with you what I do to get myself back on track. And this is Kirk's list. You know, if it can help you, I really do hope that it can help you like it helps me. But I had to create a list knowing somewhere in my life I'm going to run into this again. And just because you have success in your life, it doesn't mean it just stays that way for all of your life. You're probably still going to have those moments like I've had where it's like, what do I do? So this is what I do. Number one, if I ever get stuck, I got to go back to creating a wish list. What is it that I wish would happen? What is it I wish things would be like? And so I playfully just type out or write out really all my wishes. And this starts my thought process to begin to move. Because if I only wrote down the exact things that I'd have happen, when I'm trying to be exact, my mind could get all locked up and get into that perfectionist thinking like, well, if I write it down, it's supposed to happen. No, just keep it nice and gentle in a wish list, but also keep it short in time. What do I wish would happen this week? Or what do I wish would happen this month? And I just write those ideas down, and they're all just ideas. I'm not trying to make stuff happen here. I'm just trying to get my mind moving again. Just trying to get it to move. Next, I then start to think about, now it's a wish. How do I turn this into a hope? The first one here is a list. It's like a grocery list. Well, I'm going to take a couple of these and I'm just going to type up pretty much like a half page of a hope story. I hope that this would happen and this would happen and this would happen. And I'm taking some of these ideas, compiling them together in literally just a half page. But I'm starting to put it in a little bit more of a story form. Again, gently moving my mind so that it can get the wheels turning again. Because stuff happens in life and it can shut us down. Now that I have that half-page hope story going on, and again, it's just playful, it's not perfect, probably not even spell checked, probably not even grammar checked. It doesn't have to be that way, because we're just getting the wheels turning inside of your mind. Then it's time to upgrade my music list, right? You probably had some music you're listening to that you like and you listen to, but now music is going to play a more important role. Music is going to move you. Now, over my years of experience in life, I've had times where my music list it's going to kind of sound weird, but I had a music list once where it was a bunch of grumpy songs about people who were upset about things. They didn't like what was going on. Because that's where I was. I was in a place where I just didn't like how things were. So I found some music that I related to. But then I want to keep a nice mix, so I find some songs that have lyrics about getting back up and get going, about a comeback story, about a guy who all odds were against him and now he's starting to make it again. There's all kinds of songs out there that can literally fit exactly where you're at. So I like to find songs that describe where I'm at, and then I like to mix in a couple of songs that talk about where I would like to get myself up to that next step. So I've got my wish list, got my mind going. I got my half-page story that I've written out. I've got it written, and now I'm starting to listen to music and really paying attention to lyrics, but it's very intentional music. This next one of the reasons why we lose our direction is because we don't know who we're following. Sometimes we as leaders, or you as a leader, we're out front all the time. And sometimes we have people who are listening to us or following us, and sometimes we just don't want to do it anymore. And then now we realize we don't have anybody that we're looking up to. When a person loses their role model or their example out in front of them, they actually can lose direction. So it's time to find a hero or a role model. So this means I need to pick someone who's going to be my role model, who's going to be my hero. And sure enough, as soon as you start looking around, you start to recognize, like, you know what? I wish I could live a life like that person. Or I really like how so-and-so is. I really like their example. I really wish I could be like them. So now I've got myself a role model. I've got myself some playful music, that helps me, really, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to go. And I've got myself a half-page story of where I wish my life was going. Now my mind can start to get active. Now notice, I have not picked a final destination yet. When you don't know where you're going and you've lost your direction in life and you're trying to pick the exact destination, you're not going to find it. I really believe, and I've found, I got to get my mind moving before I can actually narrow in on what that direction looks like. And that's why we have so many people really stuck in their life. They're trying to find the absolute direction in their life to go that way. And you could be in that place. These activities get your mind moving. And a mind that is moving can make decisions and make choices about where you want to go next. Number 5, this can really upgrade the experience too, is to take better care of yourself. Maybe you've let your hair grow out. Maybe the last couple weeks or couple months, you just ate whatever you wanted to eat. You know how you can get in that mode where it's like, I don't care, I'm just going to eat whatever I want. Well, it's time to make a little bit of an adjustment there. Maybe it's time to take a little bit better care of yourself about what you're eating, how you're sleeping, and get that haircut, get a little cleaned up, take care of yourself. The more you take care of yourself, you start to notice you have respect for yourself. And that respect can move into helping you make decisions about what direction to go in your life. So take this one on in doing something today to improve the way you've been taking care of yourself. And if I may suggest, go to bed tonight 1 hour earlier than normal. Just 1 hour. And notice how you feel tomorrow morning. It's crazy how cool that is. 1 hour earlier to bed tonight. Notice how it feels in the morning. It's like you can think better. Your mind is much more clear. And it's like your mind can actually move a little bit faster. If you've gotten in the habit of staying up late at night and watching the crazy weird shows on TV, or you're off doing something late at night, give yourself a break. Help your mind out by just going to bed 1 hour earlier tonight. You may start to make a change about that, because a little bit more sleep sure helps the mind in figuring out the direction to go next. So as you are looking at each one of these activities, don't miss out on getting outside. Outside energy or outside experiences actually help us look further and see things off in the distance, either a mountain range or the clouds or the sun or even the moon and the stars. And when we can start to be outside just a little bit more, we actually start to feel like, wow, there are places to go. There are people to see. There are activities to go and be part of. But usually when you start to lose your direction and you don't know where to go, you probably notice you've been inside way too much. Because you get that caveman feeling, right? If you live in a cave and work in a cave all the time, you start to lose the idea that you can actually go further in life. But each one of these activities will engage your mind and open up your mind to help begin the wheels to turn. So what do you do with all this now that you got it all going? Well, what will happen next, even if you use 3 of these things, what will happen next is your mind starts to move. And because your mind is moving and thinking and really starting to look at things differently than where you were before, you're going to have more options here to choose what to move towards. Upgrade your story as your awareness and your clarity starts to come to you. A person who has a story that came from a wish list, you keep your music playing because it's going to keep your thoughts moving and it's going to keep that encouragement happening. If you have a role model and you have a story, it engages your mind to point you in the direction you've always wanted to go. And whenever you want, you can upgrade this story, but just keep it nice and short. But first start out as a wish list, something that you hope for and that you wish for. And that'll help you get back on track to having an idea of what direction that you can go. And it's okay to adjust along the way. So when you're wondering, how to, find that direction in life, be gentle at the beginning. Do these kind of activities to get your mind moving. Then you'll know what to do. Your clarity will come back. Your confidence will come back. These are confidence building techniques because it gets your thoughts moving, it gets your respect level back up where it needs to be, and with that confidence, you'll make better decisions. So here at 3 Key Elements, we like to help people be able to get up and get moving and find their direction in life. And be careful not to choose big things to do first, because there's a lot of momentum that can happen with small steps. Use these confidence building techniques and notice how quickly it helps you find that direction. So if you'd like to learn more about how to even move beyond these steps, come check us out at Master Your Influence. We hold that class here in Salt Lake City. We'd love to have you. It's a 3-day live event, and you would absolutely enjoy the training because it's skills that you can use for the rest of your life. And of course, subscribe. Don't miss any videos that are being sent out because they address the really important parts of your life. All right, we'll see you at the next video.